So now this is how you get, if we have a new song, how to get one and set it up. So easiest way to do this, I already showed how we get it from Dropbox, but in this case, we're going to get it from Song Select. Click on Safari. We're going to navigate over to Song Select however you want. There's a save point here, or a bookmark. Click sign in if you're not signed in already. There's already credentials. So if you click it, sign in. And now what we want to do is in the search bar, we want to see, we want to choose the song we're looking for. So we'll use the Trusting God again. So there's a few different ones here. Normally, since they're just lyrics, they don't add too much, but if you want to look, you can click on the talk bubble and it'll show you lyrics. So this one is not the one that we want, because we already know that that's not the lyrics we're looking for. All right, so return to the menu. This is the one that we're looking for. So we're going to click on talk bubble. And we see that this is the song that we're looking for by the lyrics. So what we want to do is we're going to copy it. So if you can do the click on it and then all, but it'll do that, or select all, but it'll do that. So you don't want to do that. So what we want to do is click on the icon to copy it, copy to clipboard. We navigate back to ProPresenter. And we're going to build the song. To go to NRT library, which is the library that we're working out of, we're going to add, we're going to add the song. So what we want to do is click on plus, and we want to add a new presentation. So then it'll ask for the file name. So we'll do Trust in God. This is the library it'll save it to. We can do things here, but I tend to not. It messes up my workflow, but you can make changes here, theme-wise and all of that. So just click New. And now you see here is the presentation that we're working with. So that what you want to do is bring that into the playlist that you're going to put it into. So we'll take that and we'll drag it into the playlist we want. And then when we click on that playlist, we'll see that it appears here. So in this case, we're going to take that and we're going to put it right in front of We Need a Miracle. If you look, there's no content. It's just a blank slide. There's nothing on it. There's literally nothing on it. No color or anything. That checkerboard looking thing means it's transparent. So we're going to tell ProPresenter what we want to do with it. The way that I do this is maybe a little bit different than how anyone else would do it, but this is one way. You can right click it, hit edit slide. In the text, double click the text, and then you can paste it. If you want to paste using Command V, or if you want to paste using the right click, then you can do that. So what you'll do from here then, this is why I don't use this method, is the whole song is in one slide. So then you can break it down from here, all the stuff that you need. You can remove things that you don't need. or add anything else in. So this is not the way that I want to do this. So I'm going to hit Command A, and then I'm going to delete it. So the way that I would do this is, let's go back out to the main screen, the presentation screen. So trusting God, blank, or transparent. What I'll do is I'll make sure I highlight it, click on reflow, and then here, basically it'll give you an editable reflection of what's on the slide. So over here, I'll click, I'll right click and paste, or I'll hit Command V. So in this case, I'm going to click Command V, or I'm going to use Command V. Now this isn't what we want it to look like on the slide, but all of this is on one slide, but because the letters are black, we can't really see them here. So what I'll normally do while we have all of this is right click on the slide, and then I'm going to add the theme. So in this case, we want the theme to be center screen, and then we want it to be worship. So now it reflects the way that we want it to show on the screen. What I'll do over here, just so it looks the same, select them all, right click, transformations, and I'll hit them to be uppercase just so that they look the same. I will take the author's names and the CCLI number, and I'll normally cut them and then paste them there. And all of this other information down here we don't need. This, by the way, is our license to use the CCLI. This is the number of the song, and this is our license to use it. Anyway, delete it. And now we need to break them up into individual slides. Before anything else, I usually make the last slide. So what you want to do is you can click, oh, I've never done this like this before. Huh. Okay, so you can click insert line break to basically create a slide afterwards. I like to do this with the keyboard. So like I said, I've never clicked that button before, I don't think. So where you want to make the break, you put it in front. And then I hit Option or Alt on the keyboard and return. And so it'll make that in everything in that space its own slide. And normally I add a buffer slide in between sections. So I'll hit Option Return again to put one slide between the bridge and the rest of this. So I'll do the same for everything else. Right before verse 2, Option, and I'm going to hit Return twice to break it, and then put a buffer. Same thing with the chorus. Option, return once to cut it, and return again to make a buffer. I'll do it here. Once to cut it, once for the buffer. And then I'll make one right in front of the title slide as well. So you can see all of these here are the buffers. Now we need to split them up into their individual slides. So the best way to do this is, if you know the song, you can sing the song, and or at least you can listen to it on Spotify or whatever, your music player of choice. Oh, excuse me. But now, so what we're going to do is we're going to break this up in ways that fit the screen. I usually do this from the bottom up, but in this case, we'll go from the top since we'll do it in pretty much in order. So the first thing I do is I delete what the section is. And then I'll say, okay, in this line, blessed assurance, Jesus is mine. You can back it up and show it. So you can see it reflected here. So 2 lines is generally what we're going for. Sometimes it needs to be 3 if it's a little wordy. So, blessed assurance, Jesus is mine. He's been my 4th man in the fire, time after time. That's too long. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut. Put a cut right here. So option, return. So if you want to make that 2 lines, to put something on the other side, it's shift, return. And we have this set up to be centered, so we'll do the other parts here. So you can break this up however you need. This is basically how it looks, or how it would look if when you're singing it. So that's up to you how you format it. So we could do the same thing. Born of His Spirit, washed in His blood. We're going to cut one here. And then this is the last slide for the verse. So what you can do, I do have it set up this way. If you want to do it, select the first of that section, the first slide of that section, and the last slide of the section. So you're going to click on the first slide, hold shift on the keyboard, and then click on the last slide of that section. And we're going to label this verse 1. Right click it, go to labels, you're going to add verse 1. And that's just so you can see it. It doesn't do anything special. So now that we have verse 1 set, there's the buffer before the chorus. And what we're going to do is we're going to remove chorus, and we're going to separate this up in a way that works for us. So 3 lines is fine. If we do, if we break this up, it'll be too hard with how fast the lyrics go. We could split it here, but that's not, that might be confusing. So if you split it off and you want to undo it, you can hit delete and it'll put them back together. All right, so we know that this is the chorus. So this is after verse 1. You can just label it chorus, or you can label it chorus 1. Right click label. I usually do chorus 1 so we know where it's at. And then we're going to move on to verse 2. So it's kind of the same thing repeated. Select it, delete the part you don't want, and then we're going to break these off. So again, option return to break it. Option return to put the line break. And then from there, select the first line, shift, or the first line, the first slide of the section, click it, hit shift, click on the last one. We're going to add the label, right click, label, and that's verse 2. And depending on how the song is formatted, that's why this is easier to break this up while you're listening to a recording of it, or the recording that you're going to do, so you know if they're putting 2 choruses here, or if it's 1 chorus here and then 2 choruses after. So what I'll normally do is I'll take it and the buffer slide, copy it. So how did I do that? Click on the first slide you want, command click, and then the buffer if you want the buffer. And then you can copy it using the right click or copy it using the keyboard shortcut, which is Command C. And then you need to highlight the slide you want to paste after. So right click on the slide you want to paste after. For us, it is this one. So this is the end of verse 2. We want to go after the buffer. So highlight it, and then you can paste using the right click, or you can paste using the keyboard command, Command V. And then you can change the label. So right click and change the label, course 2. And if that repeats, you can do the same thing. Right click the slide or slides that you want, copy it. And since this slide is highlighted, when you paste it, it'll be after that slide. And again, you can do that with your keyboard command. So Command V to Command C to copy, Command V to paste. So in the bridge, we'll do the same thing. Delete the section name, and we'll break them up. You can probably get these. Option return to break. Okay. So if you wanted to make this appear better or less, as you can see, well, they don't look the same. So we might want to break this up so that it looks a little better. It's up to you. So you could do something like add your break here after the first and, shift return to send it down or to split it without making another slide. We'll do the same thing to the other line. Shift return to push it down. Same thing on this one. Shift return to send it to the next line. All right, and so same thing for the label. If this is the first time through the bridge, you can add bridge 1. So we're going to click on the first slide that we want, shift, and then the last slide. Right click, label, and this is bridge 1. So you can continue that so on as you need. If you need to pull choruses down, or if you know you're going to repeat a verse, something like that, you can pull that and put it in any position here. So what we're going to do after that is we're going to format this to tell ProPresenter how we want it to look. So click on any of them, Command A to select all. We're going to first tell ProPresenter how we want it to look in the confidence monitor for the people on stage. So right click, add action, stage. And because this is a song, we want it to be lyrics. So you can see the icon popped up for what they see on the stage. Now what we want to do is tell it what we want to look like on the front screens, or what the audience or what the congregation is looking at. So we're going to right click it while everything is highlighted, add action, audience look, and because it's worship song, we want to click worship. And you can see the icon popped up. If you click on these here, you won't see the preview because this isn't a live screen. So if you need to work on something while there's other content, the reflow is a really good place to do that. So you can move things around without them being seen. Or if you click on something here, it won't show it on the screen. All right, so now what we want to do is add the lighting cue. You can't really do that from this screen. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to show. Click on show, and it'll take us to the presentation page, I guess you could call it. So when you click on one of these slides, they are live. So this is what it looks like currently on the center stage, center screen. This is what it looks like on the sides, and this is what it looks like for the people on stage or in the confidence monitor. So if you click, it'll show where it is and what it looks like. So we're going to add the lighting cue. What we're going to do is right click on the slide that you want to add the lighting cue to. I usually go to label and select the label I want. Let's call this the closing song. And then we're going to right click it again and we're going to add an action. We're going to add a communication. Select Vista S1 lighting console and we want MIDI note on. So this is where we set our settings. The note that we want, these last two here, note and intensity, are the ones that we want to change. Everything else up here can stay the same. So the note is the command itself. Right now it's set to 0, but we want to set that to the corresponding number here. So in this case, it'll be 9. So hit the drop down and find 9. So these are the numbers that we care about. The ones in front don't really matter. We'll select the intensity, and we want that to be all the way, so super intense. And then click back on it, and your lighting cue should come up if you have the lighting console turned on. The last thing that I'd want to do here is edit the screen for what the first one looks like. All right, cut that. From there, I'd like to usually disable the buffer slide that comes between the title slide and the first line of lyrics, so that when we click the title slide, they can see the first set of lyrics in the confidence monitor. So right now, if we click on this screen, this is what it looks like on the center screen, this is what the side screens looks like, and this is what it looks like in the confidence. So they can see the title, but they can't see the first line. So what we want to do is, if we disable this, right click, disable, when we click back on the title slide, they see the title slide, and the first set of lyrics. And the last thing I would do here is edit that title slide just to look a little bit better. So right click it, edit slide. In this case, the changes I'm going to make are purely cosmetic, and this may differ in the future. I'll take this font, make it bigger just so it stands out, 125 points. Normally I'll take the authors, change the font, and change the font size, usually big enough that they can read it, but not so big that it takes over, because like right now it takes over the screen. 70. I don't like these to be in all caps, so we'll go title case. Change this up a little bit. Select it and change font, change size if you want. Normally 125, 70, and then 90. And then while this is selected, it looks a little too close. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add space in the lines. So then you go to line height over here and you want to add it. The default is 1, but sometimes you gotta move things around to make them look aesthetically different. So now that is done. Click on show to get back to the presentation screen. As you can see, it's different now for both the center screen and the side screens. It looks exactly the same in the confidence, because what we did doesn't affect the confidence at all. And that is pretty much how you set up a song from scratch without getting it from Dropbox.